to flash flooding.
What should we do if we are already outside?
Evacuate to a safe place, away from construction sites, underground spaces, and areas prone to frequent flooding. If you're driving, do not stop the car. Instead, slowly drive through the flooded area without stopping.
What should we do once the rain stops?
When going into buildings that have been submerged, do not touch electrical facilities and make sure to ventilate, as there is a risk of gas leakage.
We should also reduce preventable damages and prepare for disasters ahead of time by following safety guidelines.
That is correct. You can receive real-time safety information through the Disaster Safety Information mobile app, 안전 디딤돌.
Thank you for all the great information. Remember, your safety is everyone's safety. This campaign is brought to you by BEFM 부산영어방송.
지금 방송 광고라는 부메랑을 던져보세요. 소비자를 향해 정확히 날아가는 광고. 힘차게 돌아가는 경제. 부메랑처럼 다시 기업의 이익으로 되돌아오니까요. 방송 광고, 경제에 큰 힘이 됩니다. 부산 방송광고발전협의회.
The time is now 7 o'clock.
The most common topics these days. Number one, the heat wave, right? And number two, the economy. On the national front, the tariff negotiations are definitely top priority. But what about businesses? The number of businesses that shut down in Korea exceeded 1 million last year for the first time since record-taking began in 1995. And the business closures were most evident in the retail and food service sectors, which accounted for 45% of all the shutdowns. So here's hoping those government consumption coupons can give a boost to business owners during this economic downturn. I'm Catherine. This is Morning Wave in Busan on Tuesday, July 29th on BEFM 부산영어방송. Good morning, Wavers. I hope you're all doing well. And I want to give a shout out to one of our listeners. Username, from what I understand, is, I believe it's Lee Yu 0413 name, because they say 내 출근 메이트 감사해요. I like that kind of moniker, the 출근 mate. So I am definitely down for that, to be kind of, yes, your commuter buddy. We all are here on Morning Wave in Busan. So thanks for chiming in early this morning. We are in the final few days of July, are we not? Yes, August 1st is right around the corner. And this date, we all know, is pretty crucial this year, as that is a deadline set by the Trump administration to negotiate the tariffs. So in terms of the latest on this trade front, the South Korean government has proposed a project called, are you ready for this? MASGA. Not MAGA, but MASGA. Make American Shipbuilding Great Again. So this proposal came from the Trade and Industry Minister Kim Jong-un to Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. So this includes a massive investment from Korean shipping companies supported by government funding. And the Korean government has been offering these investment deals, but the U.S. is said to be pushing for more open market policies, both in terms of tariffs and non-tariff barriers. The conundrum for the presidential office is, how much are they willing to give in? And the real challenge is all about balance. For instance, Seoul has budged a little on its position regarding agricultural imports, which was previously considered a non-negotiable, right? That was kind of like the so-called red line. But it seems that the government has determined that some kind of compromise is inevitable to protect overall national interest. However, there is also the domestic position to think about, including a parliamentary Agriculture Committee, having issued a statement calling on the government to not put the country's farming industry, not putting up as sacrifice. On top of this, Secretary Lutnick said that the U.S. expects to announce a semiconductors tariff in 2 weeks, raising concerns for one of South Korea's biggest industries. South Korea's finance minister Koo Yoon-chul went ahead to Washington today for a meeting with Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, scheduled for later this week. On top of that, it's been reported that Trade Minister Kim Jong-kwan and the top trade negotiator Yo Han-gu went to Scotland for additional trade talks with Trump's officials. So we'll see if all of these collective efforts can, bring the deal home, as they say. The government is representing national interests across all fields as it sits down with U.S. representatives. And of course, shoulders, the weight, it's pretty heavy right now with such high expectations. So we're going to continue to report on this story, of course. For the time being, let's get to our text topic. Are you ready? We're going to talk about sleep. How many hours do you get on average? What are your sleep issues? If you have none, give us some tips because I certainly need them for a good night's rest. All right. 나는 하루에 몇 시간 잔다? 나의 수면 고민은? 수면 고민 없으신 분들은 꿀팁 제발 알려주세요. Let's share all the tips all around. You can send in your opinions, your thoughts to BFM's live stream, live chat on YouTube. So go to the YouTube platform, type in BEFM or 부산영어방송 to find our channel, to subscribe, log in, and chat away with our other waivers. From your phone, pound 9050, shop 9050. That's going to cost you 101. You can also reach me for free on Kakao Talk. And to find us, type in BEFM, 부산영어방송, to add us as a friend first. So add us, and then you can send in your messages, send in photos if you like too. And the ways you can tune into Morning Wave in Busan, 90.5 or 103.3 FM here in the Busan area. That's on the radio. And like I said, we're streaming live on YouTube as we speak. You can watch again at your leisure. And we're available on 2 apps, the BEFM app and also the Patbang app. And now, let's talk about the lineup for today. It is Tuesday, so that means we have Wave Sports with Andrew. Hour number 2, Simply Sustainable with Bonnie. For our special interview, we have an expert that's going to come on and talk about AI. Yes, we've talked about AI many a times here on our show, but are we ready for all the fraud, the scams, all the not such great things that come with artificial intelligence? Because, yes, there is apparently this AI fraud crisis. And this is coming from one of the founders of OpenAI, Sam Altman. So we're going to find out what this is all about. We need to be better protected, of course, and prepare. And I'll be back with news overview. It's now 7:06, and this is News Overview. Finance Minister to meet with U.S. Treasury Secretary this week. Finance Minister Koo Yoon-chul will depart to Washington, D.C. today to hold talks with U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on Thursday local time, a day before the August 1st deadline. Parliamentary Committee passes Yellow Envelope Bill. The Parliamentary Environment and Labor Committee yesterday passed the revisions to the Yellow Envelope Bill with labor groups urging the quick passage of the bill while business groups expressed concerns. President emphasizes importance of restoring trust with North Korea. President Lee Jae-myung yesterday emphasized the importance of maintaining a peaceful atmosphere to restore inter-Korean trust in response to North Korea's hostile remarks. Samsung Electronics wins $22.8 trillion won deal with Tesla. Samsung Electronics said that it has signed a $22.8 trillion won foundry contract with Tesla to supply AI semiconductor chips to the U.S. tech giant. Thailand and Cambodia agree to immediate ceasefire. Thailand and Cambodia have agreed to an immediate and unconditional ceasefire effective as of midnight, ending the bloody 5-day border conflict. And this was News Overview. It's time for Now in Busan. We have Sejin in the studio. Let's say hi first. Good morning.
Hi.
How are you? Oh, Jinx. We said it at the same time. I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing well.
Good.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm okay too.
Okay.
All right. We're going to talk about our text topic. Our text topic is about sleep. So how many hours you get on average? And do you have any good tips?
I'm not the best person to ask because I usually slept for 4 or 5 hours. And yesterday was not a bit of nightmare because
Why?
I slept for like 3 hours.
Ooh.
So I went for running yesterday and it kind of makes me keep up at night.
Maybe you should not run at night.
That's true.
Okay. Just saying.
Yeah, but I'm thinking too much before I'm going to bed. So always.
What do you think
happens.
about? Just like every, just random
Just
thoughts?
random thing pops up and then
Okay.
the broadcast as well, this one. I'm so nervous every time.
Oh, you're still nervous every
Yeah.
time? Really? Well, we would never have known unless you told us, so don't be nervous. We're going to jump into our first story. So this is regarding, of course, the prolonged heat wave. So what's the latest?
Busan has now been under a heat wave advisory for the 8-day over a week in a row.
Yes. Oh, sorry. So I was like, tell us more, because I know it's not just the temperature. We have the humidity, the tropical nights that make it really tough to basically get to sleep and fall asleep, right?
Yeah, people here have also been dealing with tropical nights, like those sticky ones where it doesn't dip below 25 degrees.
Yes.
And forecasts say the feels-like temperatures could stay around 35 degrees for the time being.
And this is on top of the health concerns. So how are people holding up?
Not great. There have been 82 heat-related illnesses and 1 suspected death in Busan as of July 26, according to the Korea Disease Control and Prevention Agency.
Yes, very worrisome. What is the city doing about this, though?
On July 28, yesterday, Mayor Park Hyung-jun visited the welfare facilities and elderly households in Sasang district to see how the city's response was going. It was his second emergency field check. He's done one earlier this month at the industrial site. He listened to concerns from at-risk groups and checked whether the city's countermeasures were properly functioning on site.
I see. So what have they done so far?
Busan City set up an emergency alert system for people living alone or with mobility issues.
Yes.
Over 18,000 households now have been safety device installed. The mayor also checked out a designated cooling center at a senior center called 새벽 경로당
Okay.
to make sure the air conditioning and facilities were in good shape.
Right. So this is really important. We talked about this before, how the elderly can be more vulnerable to heat. So thanks for sharing this with our listeners. So what's our next story about?
The beaches in Busan were absolutely packed over the weekend.
Right.
And unfortunately, so were the reports of jellyfish stings and other injuries.
Wow. So, the weekends, usually we relax, but, just how crowded did it get?
Massively crowded. More than 841,000 beachgoers visited 7 of the city's beaches over the weekend.
Yes. And so you talked about a jellyfish stings. Where were they the worst?
Most of the jellyfish sting cases came from Haeundae and Songjeong. There were 14 stings at Haeundae, 22 at Songjeong, and 5 over at Songdo Beach.
So, the thing is this. We talked about the jellyfish nets. So aren't they supposed to prevent this kind of thing?
Yeah, they usually do. But this year, the net weren't installed because of the disagreement with local fishermen and other skateholders.
Yes. So what about other beaches?
At Gwangali, there were lots of cuts and scrapes, especially in hands to feet. In fact, they logged 17 injury cases, more than all 6 other beaches combined.
Oh, goodness. So I guess it's going to be like that. But, busy for the lifeguards. And, of course, you need to watch out for the jellyfish. And, it sounds like the beach, the ocean, not just full of vacation goers. It's full of risks. And so another safety concern. So the beaches themselves might be of issue, right?
Yeah, so we've had few drowning incidents recently at beaches in Busan that aren't officially designated swimming areas.
Yes, so people are swimming basically when there's no lifeguard. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, like last Saturday, a man drowned while swimming off Jungli Port in Yeongdo district. People nearby did pull him out and try to save him, but he did not survive.
So that's terrible news. Do we know what happened?
Turns out he had been drinking before he went into the water. Plus, it gets really deep suddenly there, like 5 to 6 meters deep.
Okay.
So no lifeguards, deep water, and alcohol.
So that's definitely not a great combination. So apparently this is not an isolated incident, right?
No, about a week before, another man drowned near Dongbaeksum. He was swept away by waves just 5 minutes after jumping in.
So what's the issue with these beaches not being officially designated?
More people are heading to these unregulated spots these days. They're quieter, which makes them attractive, but that comes with a cost. And because they're not city-run beaches, there's no legal requirement to have lifeguards or rescue equipment in place.
I see. But, when something goes wrong, help isn't readily available. Has there been any official response to this?
The Coast Guard has been patrolling the area. They actually checked the site 3 times that day. But the accident happened just after they left. But they said it's critical to have lifeguards actually stationed there, not just on patrol. And most importantly, they stress the people should never swim after drinking and always wear a life jacket.
That's true, because we do need to take care of ourselves, of course. But once again, tragic story. All right. What's next for Busan?
If you're driving around Busan during the summer holidays, here's a bit of flexibility coming your way. The city's temporary lifting its alternate no driving day system, 승용차율제. It started yesterday on July 28, and it runs to August 8 for the summer holiday period.
Okay, so let's remind our listeners, how does the car-free day system work?
It's basically a voluntary campaign where drivers with RFID tag agree not to drive one weekday out of 5, Monday to Friday. And participants receive some nice incentives in return, like 10% off vehicle taxes, up to 14% if paid in advance, 50% of public parking, and 20% of residential parking.
I see. So why are they lifting the system, at least temporarily?
Well, summer holiday season is here, and many companies are taking collective leave. So Busan said the timing made it reasonable to temporarily suspend the system.
I see. So are there exceptions during the year?
Yes, drivers are allowed to use their cars up to 4 times a year on their designated no-drive day. To find more info, just visit the official Car-Free Day website, green.driving.busan.go.kr.
All right. So thank you for giving us that information. Next, I hear that there is a beach festival coming up soon here in Busan.
That's right. From August 1st, Busan will be hosting a 29th Busan Sea Festival. Over 3 days at Dadepo Beach in Seoul District.
Okay. So this is, of course, Dadepo, the famous one with the sunset and the fountain and whatnot, right?
It is indeed. And this year's festival unfolds against the backdrop of glowing sunset, such as fireworks show called Dade Fireworks, Korea's largest beachfront pop zone, Dadepocha. A brand new night market called Dadeya장.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. But what about daytime activities?
Over the weekend from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., the Sunset Beach Club will offer water sports like surfing or paddleboarding along with DJ sets and live music.
And so what about this giant beachfront pub?
That's Dadepocha. It's got 2,000 seats this year, all lined up with views of Busan's night sea, and plenty of beer and street food.
So I'm sure many people will enjoy this. Other programs or events we should be aware of?
Tons. There's Sunset Monk Park for people with dogs, Fountain Pirates for kids, and a wellness zone, forest concert, and lounge areas for everyone.
So that's once again the Mung Park, like Mung Mung for dogs, right? And will traffic be affected?
Yes, on the opening day, they're capping attendance at 35,000. And starting from 4 p.m., one lane of Da대포 and 3 nearby public car parks will be closed off.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. Once again, the Busan Sea Festival. Thanks for going over all the Busan updates. And of course, we'll check in with you tomorrow. Thank you, Sajin.
Thank you so much.
And I'll be back with your traffic and weather.
Good morning.
Good morning.
굿모닝입니다.
Good morning.
좋은 아침입니다.
Morning wave in Busan.
Morning wave in Busan.
Morning wave in Busan.
Major news, local buzz, and expert takes. It's all here on Morning Wave in Busan. Brighten up your morning commute with Morning Wave in Busan.
Morning wave in Busan.
Here's your traffic report. It's now 7:19 on this Tuesday morning. First up, there is an accident on 충장대로 from pier number 5 to pier number 3. This is a cargo truck car accident right outside the Choryang underpass number 1. So please be aware of this. Next up, the Dongso overpass is congested from Bumnikor ramp to the old Gaegeum tollgate. Also, it is congested on the Taedong-Hwamyeong bridge from Hwamyeongdong to Taedong. And there is backup on the Nama Expressway toward Daejeon, right around the Deokjeon ramp. And it's looking slow on Leunun Samsungdaedo from Myeongji Underpass to Shinho Bridge. Currently, it's 28 degrees Celsius and it's sunny. And needless to say, it's already hot. It's going to go up to 34 degrees Celsius today. A heat wave impact forecast, 폭염 영향예보, and a heat wave special report, 폭염특보, are in effect. Across the nation, a clear, hot one with a daytime high forecast to go up to 37 degrees in some areas. Showers forecast for parts of Seoul, Gyeonggi, Gangwon, and Chungnam. This was your traffic and weather. It's time for Top Stories. We have Haley in the studio. Let's say hi. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Doing well. You know, can't complain.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
I can, but, I won't.
We can always complain.
I can always
We'll
complain.
find something. Our text topic today, though. How many hours of sleep do you get on average?
6 to 6.5.
Ooh,
the
that's
goal's
good.
always 7, but I always fail every single night. I just fail. The problem is, like, daytime Haley and nighttime Haley are during the daytime, I'm like, all right, I'm going to go to bed at like 10. I'm actually going to fall asleep by 10:30. Come 10:30, I'm like revenge scrolling. I'm like, but the short form videos are so fun. I can stay up till 11. I shouldn't.
But you do.
But I do. And then I keep waking up. It depends, like half of the week I do wake up in the middle of the night because apparently I'm an old woman and I need to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. I don't know what it is, but it is.
It's because you keep hydrated during the day.
I do. I really do.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, you got to go, right? Well, we're going to jump into our first story. We have some major developments on the election meddling allegations against the former first couple.
Right. So the special counsel investigations are really ongoing. And we're talking about the allegations that the former first couple, Yoon Sung-yeol and Kim 건희, allegedly interfered in the PPP, the People Power Party's candidate nomination processes in the 2022 by-elections, the local elections, along with the 2024 elections as well. So a part of the allegations is that the first couple allegedly advocated for former Gyeonggi province councilman Choi to be the candidate for mayor of Pyeongtaek. He was nominated as the party's candidate, and this decision even back then was deemed controversial because the incumbent candidate for the party actually lost out in the primaries despite polls being in his favor. Choi had been under police investigations, but he was actually found dead yesterday morning. So Gyeonggi's Pyeongtaek police said that they found him dead in the mountains around 3:20 in the morning after his family had called the police at 2 a.m. saying that he hadn't come home. The police have at least deemed for now that it seems like an apparent suicide.
Yeah, so this is a major new facet of the story. As this is going on, the special counsel searched a major politician's home yesterday.
Right, and we're talking about New Reform Party's chairman Lee Jun-seok on the day that he was reinstated back into his previous leadership position.
Yes.
So again, this is connected to the election meddling allegations because Lee was the chairman of the PPP back in 2022 when the candidate nominations were going on.
Yes.
And also in the 2024 general elections. And according to special counsel led by Min Jung-gi, they named him as a suspect in the case linked to the by-elections in 2022, but it seems that he is a witness regarding the April 10th general elections from last year. So because there are two separate elections, he's a suspect in one, witness in the other.
Okay.
So this is connected to the self-proclaimed pollster Myung Tae-gyun, who told the police that he has KakaoTalk conversation screen grabs with Lee about the nomination process.
I see.
Lee has denied any involvement or knowledge into the matter. And Lee Jun-seok actually said that for his party, the timing is very conspicuous on the day that his party was supposed to hold its first Supreme Council meeting with the new leadership. And he asked whether it was necessary to raid his home so suddenly when he is, quote, just a witness. So this is before the special counsel named him a suspect. His party also issued a statement saying that the raid is political.
Yeah, so that's the second kind of story, the facet of this story. And the insurrection special counsel is also making headway.
Right, so another facet of the three special counsels is the special counsel led by Cho Eun-seok. He had requested an arrest warrant for former Interior Minister Lee Sang-min. This is connected to his alleged role in the former President Yoon Suk-yeol's martial law declaration.
Sure.
That hearing will be held this coming Thursday. So Lee faces allegations that he conveyed the former president's orders to cut off power and water to some major news outlets and media outlets and conveying that to the chiefs of National Police and National Fire Agency, respectively.
Okay.
So the special counsel deems that this was an act of active collusion, and they've charged Lee with playing a key role in insurrection, abuse of power, obstruction of justice, and perjury.
Yes. So thank you for sharing the information on these different, once again, moving parts of the story. And next, North Korea has issued its first official statement regarding the new Lee Jae-myung administration.
Right. So we're actually getting a lot of statements from North Korea via Kim Yo-jong, who is the powerful sister of Chairman Kim Jong-un. So they issued the country's first statement on the new Lee Jae-myung administration's North Korea policy specifically. Overall, it was a scathing one that showed that the country has no intention of thawing relations with the South. So according to the Korea Central News Agency, which published her statement, it was titled Inter-Korean Relations Completely Outside the Time Zone of So-Called Unified People. So the statement said that the Lee Jae-myung government is pretending to be the same people, 한민족, as North Korea, and, quote, making a fuss about doing justice to try to get their and the international community's attention. But Kim Yo-jong said that there will not be changes to their perception of hostility towards South Korea, adding that Pyongyang is not interested in any position coming out of Seoul and will never sit down with nor hold discussion with South Korea. She also addressed South Korea having invited Chairman Kim Jong-un to the APEC summit coming up in Gyeongju this fall. She brusquely turned down this invitation as one of futile hallucinations. Again, this is the first official statement on the new administration, showing that the road ahead may be bumpy. In the meantime, we are getting breaking news that the Korea Central News Agency published another statement from Kim Yo-jong, this time about the United States. So this was actually a bit of a softer message, at least compared to the one about Seoul. It said that the U.S. is in denial about the fact that North Korea is a nuclear power-equipped nation.
Yes.
And while, and this is the softer part, the relationship between the leaders of North Korea and the U.S. is not bad. Right. But if the U.S. continues to obsess over the past and denuclearization, then any meeting between the two would be in futile hopes for the United States.
So now we need to find out what the presidential office, how did it respond to these statements?
Right. So we're going back to the statements about South Korea that was issued yesterday. The presidential office said that it was aware and it's watching the situation closely. It also confirmed that the wall of distrust is very high due to the last several years of hostile relations, but reaffirmed that it is the government's policy to establish peace, and it will continue on this path to taking necessary action to create a Korean peninsula without hostility or war.
Yes, as this is going on, the relationship between North Korea and Russia is growing stronger.
Right, definitely that has been the trend in North Korea's foreign policy. And according to foreign press outlets, this symbolic first direct flight connecting Moscow and Pyongyang departed from Moscow at 7:25 p.m. Sunday night local time.
Okay.
So this flight is operated by the Russian airline Nordwind, and the inaugural flight carried some 400 passengers and landed in Pyongyang after 8 hours. The flight sold out quickly, and it cost 45,000 rubles, or roughly 780,000 won. The Russian transport minister said that the two countries, they are running the first direct flight between their respective capitals after 70 years of diplomatic relations.
Okay.
The return flight will depart from Pyongyang tomorrow. The flight will run once a month. And in a further show of their developing relationship, prior to this, there was only the flight between Vladivostok and Pyongyang, very close.
Yes.
However, Russia is said to be considering opening a direct flight to Wonsan, which has been kind of North Korea and the leader's pet project in developing a vacation resort there.
Yes. Well, we're going to change, switch gears, switch stories. One of the major agenda of the new administration is pushing is industrial safety.
Right. So the Democratic Party yesterday launched an industrial accidents prevention task force and held the launching ceremony.
Yes.
The task force will run on-site surveys to find structural problems surrounding these industrial accidents and disasters and come up with a policy to fill in the gaps in the safety system and also seek out legislative tasks.
Yes, and this comes as President Lee Jae-myung recently visited the country's biggest bakery factory and called for changes.
Right. So this happened last Friday. President Lee Jae-myung visited the SPC Samlip Sihung factory and held a meeting there with the group's chairman, Hyo Young-in, and other executives.
Yes.
So this, we've reported on the story extensively, is the factory where this tragedy, a worker in her 50s died after she got stuck in the conveyor belt while spraying lubricant onto the system.
Right.
So here, President Lee pointedly criticized the factory's 12-hour work shift as opposed to the industry's other companies in the industry having an 8-hour shift and questioned whether this was in place because workers can't make a living or livable wage on the 8-hour system. After this, the group held an urgent meeting and announced that they will get rid of the over 8-hour overtime system for the manufacturing lines.
Okay.
And this will go into effect starting October 1st. The company also said that it will continue to reduce working hours in phases to prevent this accumulated fatigue, and that can lead to lack of concentration and accidents.
Right.
The presidential office welcomed this, and it was rather quick change after 2 days, and that corporations responding to the president's wishes and societal values and creating a society that values the lives of its members and take on the safety costs.
Yes, of course. Safety is of utmost concern for everybody. Now for a final story, we're going to go to what's happening in Gaza, where Israel briefly paused its military campaign.
Right. So in a new change, Israel is implementing this limited daily pause in fighting in 3 of the more populated areas of Gaza to allow for what Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called minimal amount of aid into the territory. So Israeli military said that it began a tactical pause for 10 hours every day from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Prime Minister Netanyahu has been under pressure between the international community, growing condemnation of the starvation of Gaza versus his right-wing coalition pushing for an even harsher treatment of Gaza.
Yes. Well, the situation over starvation and malnutrition in Gaza has really come under international scrutiny in recent days.
Right. This has always been an issue, but it has become so horrible that the international community has been really ramping up its pressure.
Yes.
According to the World Food Program, 1 in 3 people in Gaza have gone several days without any food. At least 147 people, many of them children, have died from malnourishment since the beginning of war. And also, hundreds of people have been killed. So this isn't counted in the malnutrition statistics, but in this run to get food from the aid sites where they are are being shot by the Israeli military, which says that these are warning shots fired to protect the soldiers. Israel has also refuted the claims of deliberate starvation of Gaza and even there being starvation in Gaza. However, U.S. President Donald Trump actually refuted this. When asked about this while during his visit to Scotland, he said, "I don't know. Those children look really hungry and it looks like the starvation is real." So this is actually, it does carry a considerable amount of weight from Israel's biggest ally. Israel has released footage of an overnight airdrop of aid, including flour, sugar, and whatnot. Neighbors Jordan and the UAE, they're also carrying out airdrops. Although the airdrop of food has always been controversial because critics do see this as more of a publicity stunt as opposed to the more effective and larger flow of aid via trucks. In any case, Israel has said that it would establish humanitarian corridors to allow for the United Nations to deliver food and medicine. So hopefully we will see the situation improve.
Yes. Well, thank you for reporting on all the pertinent news for hour number 1. We'll check in with you in hour number 2. Thank you, Haley.
See you in a bit.
All right, we are ready for our first song break. This is a song request from Benny, Work by ATs.
Gotta work, gotta make that money, make purse. Gotta focus, so I make it purr. Give them whiplash when they see me earn. Gotta work, gotta make that money, make purse. Gotta focus, so I make it purr. Gotta get that credit, get perk. Gotta work. Yo! 눈 뜨면 착착 준비되는 golden plate 이제만 도착 LA to Tokyo 지차에 밖에 고른 시계 classic time 내가 움직이면 뒷다리지 gorgeous 어딜 가도 튀어나와 breaking news 하루 종일 내 노래가 나와 radio 그냥 뜨은 춤을 추는 flamingo 허나 내 시간은 금이라서 adios 난 속에 보는 래퍼 스텝으로 24시간 다 불사는 중 관심 없지 난 침묵도 모는 no Gotta work Gotta make that money, make purse. Gotta focus, so I make it purr. Keep on whiplash when they see me earn. Gotta work. Gotta make that money, make purse. Gotta focus, so I make it purr. Gotta get that credit, get purr. Gotta work. Gotta make that money, make purse. Bomb, belly shake. Gotta check, 저다 마셔. 몸에 뱉지, 눈부셔 찢지. 딱 봐라, 따라게. 아는 영의 사돈의 팔점까지 떨고 돌면 지구촌 한가족임 나는 괜찮아 그냥 기대가요 우리 비행기를 내밀지 연석이 떨려 이건 마치 자티기 하늘에서 뿌려버린 시즌에 My critics on a different beat Chasing that don't want like me 난 속에 보내 래퍼스테오 24시간 다 불사는 중 관심 없지 난 침묵도 모는 no Gotta work Gotta make that money, make purse. Gotta focus, so I make it purr. Keep on whiplash when they see me earn. Gotta work. Gotta make that money, make purse. Gotta focus, so I make it purr. Gotta get that credit, get perk. Gotta work. 플라틱틱 서둘러. 지금 바빠 넌 좀 빠져줘. 우린 지금 하늘자 위로. You can find me. Gotta make that money, make purse. Money, make purse. Gotta make that money, make purse. Money, make purse. Gotta make that money, make.
Welcome back, everybody. So I'm going to read some of your messages today. We're talking about sleep. How many hours you get on average? What are your sleep issues or troubles? And if you are a good sleeper, we want some tips like how do you fall asleep, how do you stay asleep? Because these days, it might be a little challenging, especially with the heat. We have Young on our cacao chat who says, Hi, Kat, good morning. 저는 5시간 정도 자는데 빨리 잠들기 위한 팁은 비 오는 소리 틀어놓으면 스르르 잠들더라고요. 너튜브에 비 오는 소리 많이 있어요. 한번 해보세요. I actually want to try this. So Young says that in order to fall asleep well and quickly, he turns on the sound of rain and it helps him to fall asleep. So that sounds really peaceful and I might just try that today. Last night, I'll be honest, I got 2 hours. But it was one of those, not normal days. And I had like body aches. So I was like, I took some, acetaminophen. And then I tried to fall asleep and it was just so hard, just like body aches all over. But you know what? It's like so weird. As soon as I sat in the chair, I feel better. And I'm sure after I'll go back to feeling, but it's okay. So you guys are my vitamins. So thank you for chiming in. Tommy, who says, I sleep 5 hours max. Falling asleep in 1 minute max. Tip, make yourself really tired. Really? Well, thank you. Thank you for that comment. But I'm going to be back in just a moment with Andrew and Wave Sports. It's time for Andrew and Waves. Oh my gosh. I just realized what you're wearing. I'm like so out of it. But yeah, nice.
Not trying to be branded or anything, but I'm just, you're supporting the support.
You look like you could actually just be on the team.
Whoa, hey, sign me up. Oh, you mean one of the cheerleaders?
No.
I'm with the dude there.
No, one of the players.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I did have a hat before I left the house, but I was like, last week I was very Margaritaville, if you will. And, so...
You're like, my hair looks nice today. I'm not going to wear
To 100%, it didn't. I rode here on my on two wheels. And before I put my helmet on, I was questioning my choice. And then my helmet created a helmet. So, yeah, there we go. I don't know.
I like it.
We're all right. We're doing okay, people.
Yes.
Your text topic.
Yeah.
2 hours of sleep.
That's just for last night. On average, I get 4.5.
On average, 4.5.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
How many hours do you get?
I was going to say, not enough.
It's never enough.
It's never enough. I mean, there are nights where I probably do get, I would say 6.
6 is good.
6. I think 6 is good.
6 is good. Yeah.
I would say 6 is good. But there are nights. I'm sure this has happened to everybody, and it's also probably happened to you. Is like you fall asleep at like say 9 o'clock or like 8:30. I was notorious for falling asleep with the boys when I was putting them to bed.
Yeah.
And then wake up at like 11:30, and my wife would just look at me and go, this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't get back to sleep. You know what I mean? It'd be like 4 a.m. and I'm like, come on, let me go back to sleep.
We have so many messages coming up for you.
Oh, let's hear it.
All right.
Give it to me.
Okay, here we go. 고수 says, 오늘 선발 투수 같아요. He says that you look like the starting pitcher. And then William says, who's that baseball player? Where's Andrew? 너무 하신 거 아니에요? Like, let's not go overboard. I already paid him a compliment.
There we go. I like it.
I started it.
Yeah.
This wave of compliments.
Don't finish it. Come on. I'm rather enjoying this, people.
You are, right?
I probably had last night 3.5. 3.5.
So
I need the... pump my tires here a little bit, everyone. It's okay. All right, so let's get to some sports. All right, so we're going to get to, obviously, I wore this for a reason. If I end up being the jinx that brings the whole thing crashing
down. Strip down.
Yeah, you'll never see me in one of these again.
Yes.
But we are going to kick things off with the Lotte Giants. And as it says on the screen, if you're watching on NoTube, is the Lotte Giants are on fire. On fuego.
Fire.
Yeah, on fuego.
Oh,
All
nice.
right. So Lotte Giants had an impressive showing this past week, or I guess, last week, with finishing with a 5-1 record over 6 games.
Nice.
And probably the first time in, I don't know how many weeks, there were no rainouts.
I mean, yay.
The country, I mean, we did have a lot of rain not too long ago, but we could always use a few drops here or there to maintain any fires and things like that are going on, or just help out the farmers. Come on now.
Yes.
So they began the week on the road against the Kium Heroes, dropping the opener with 6-3 against Kium. A lot of people were thinking, all right, they're going up there. They're going to get 3 wins, come home, and a big battle against Kia on the weekend.
Uh-huh.
And then they lose the opener, and it was like, oh, come on. What's going on?
Right.
But then they bounced back over the next 18 innings, only allowing 1 run against, they are the basement team, the Kium Heroes. But
hey, we'll take it.
No, hey, we've been there. I'm not throwing shade at anybody.
Right.
All right? We've been there. We know how it feels. And I'm not going to be, with my vuvuzela touting from the mountaintops.
Right.
But I'll feel for them. All right.
Sure.
But they did return on the weekend to, we'll call it Fortress Sajik, if you will, Sajik Agujang, and they continued their hot streak, sweeping. It's a while since we've been able to say that, even with them being as good as they have. But a sweep at home is always amazing.
Yes.
With 3 solid wins, started on Friday night with a 7-4 win, a dominant 9-4 performance on Saturday, which, it's one of those things after a big win on Friday. I was watching on Saturday, and I was like, I don't know where this is going to go.
Uh-huh.
And then it was just lights out. And then on Sunday, it was 2-2 for almost the entire game.
Yes.
And then Captain Jeonjunu just smashes one to the wall, and then they get 2 runs. The rest is history. So a very, very strong week for them. Lots of momentum here pushing forward, but it is this week I'm going to set as one of the defining weeks for the Lotte Giants this season. We're after the All-Star game. We're looking towards the postseason.
Oh, please.
Up first, starting tonight at home here at Sajik, they face, local Gyeongnam rivals, the NC Dinos, which I'm not going to say they haven't had the best of luck against, but it's always when you're facing a local rival, like when they play against the Samsung Lions, it's always a toss-up, I feel. So the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday here at Sajik, the first pitch at 6:30. Tickets, I think there's a few still scattered around, but after the big win on the weekend, you're not sitting with your friend. You might get a ticket, but you're not sitting with a buddy.
Okay.
All right. Then before they head off to Seoul this weekend to face the Kium Heroes again, which is kind of in quick succession where they just played them, but they're playing them again.
Yes.
But yeah, so hopefully they can make that push.
The most important question.
Yeah.
Because people are guessing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Who's on the back of your jersey?
Hey, when you become this old,
turn around.
you
Let's
don't
see.
wear another man's name on the back of your jersey.
Oh, nothing.
Oh, come
you guys
on
were
now.
all wrong.
All wrong. Actually, on my oldest jersey, oldest Lotte Giants jersey,
Who did you
I
have?
bought my very first year in Korea. This is a million years ago. It is Lee Dae-ho. Yeah.
Yes. So what did 고수님 say? He guessed it? Yeah. He guessed it. Lee Dae-ho.
Yeah. Okay, so
some people
on
are
that
saying
one,
전준우, 최동원, but then Lee Dae-ho.
The only issue when I got this, I didn't get anything on the back because it seemed like players were coming and going. I was like, my luck, I'll get somebody.
And then they're
gone.
They're gone.
And I'm just like, nah. But my boys, they both have jerseys and they both want, I'm pretty sure Kim would want Chun Min-jae and Eden maybe the same, or Yoon Dong-hee, someone like that. So yeah.
All right.
We'll see.
Yes. Well, let's move on to our next sport. What is it?
Yeah, and I feel really, really bad. I didn't talk about this at all. I think maybe I might have glanced over it at one point, but not much. There was just a lot of other sports going on, and Vasana didn't tell me that this was going on, so I didn't report on it. Shout out to Vasana.
Shade being thrown.
Exactly.
I love it. Yes.
So we're talking about the women's Euros that was taking place in Switzerland. So this is the football or soccer European Championships.
Yes.
And this is one, maybe this is why my sleep schedule is a lot thrown off here. It's because I did stay up to watch this final on Sunday night. England carried their gritty comeback to spirit into a final and ultimately secured victory over Spain in a shootout. Now, for anybody who watched this game, I'm sure you're in the same mindset as me. I watched the first half. Spain was up 1-0, and I was turning it off. All right, I'm like, I'm going to bed.
Okay,
get up here for start the week, and because it was dominant, it looked like, what it looked like is someone was playing a video game, and they're like, we'll pass it here, we'll pass it there, we'll pass it here, we'll pass it there. The other team can't come close. Whenever the other team gets it, they just lump it forward. But then, just before getting into bed, I checked the score. And England tied it up. 1-1.
Okay.
So then I was like, well, I'm pot committed here. I got to get back into this.
Yes.
And, then it was end of regulation.
Yes.
And anybody who knows the game's going into overtime, you can't turn it off.
Of course.
And it's in soccer, there's a difference because it's not like a golden goal. You have to watch the whole thing because you never know what can happen, even if another team scores early.
Yes.
And of course, there were no goals. It went to a shootout.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And, it was, I would say, the shots weren't the best, but also England's goalkeeper, Hannah Hampton, she was unbelievable. She made, I guess it was 2 saves, and then, the last kick for Spain missed the net, and it was tied 2-2 at that point on the kicks. And then clutch Chloe Kelly, the second Euro championship in a row, scores the game-winning goal, if you will, in the tournament, and it was no looking back after that. So it's England's back-to-back, and that was against the world champions. Yes. So, it was the 2 best teams in the world. Some people said they didn't deserve to be there, but guess what? It all counts as when you're there, you get it done.
Yes.
And then also a shout out to their manager, Serena Vigman. This is her 3rd Euro title in a row.
Oh.
But with 2 teams, obviously. So best coach in the world at the present time. So there we go.
And highest attendance ever for a women's Euros. That's
pretty amazing. Yeah, it was awesome. It was great to see. And the final, the crowd was absolutely insane.
I love it. Support for, all different sports, regardless of gender.
Don't worry, Vasana, we got something coming for you.
Okay, you're getting so many shout outs, and I hope you're listening, Vasana. Because we're going to talk about, what are we talking about?
Tour de France.
Tour de France.
Tour de France.
Okay.
All right. No, the reason I had to talk about this because it wrapped up on Sunday. I guess maybe Monday morning here in Korea. All right. So, and nothing really changed.
No.
Compared to, I guess the last time we talked about it was 2 weeks ago after I got called out, thrown under the bus for not doing my job properly.
Sure.
All right, so it's Pogacar solidified his place in cycling history by winning the 2025 Tour de France, capturing his 4th yellow jersey in commanding fashion.
Sure.
4.
4.
It's a grueling affair.
Yes.
This ride, and the thing was, some people are we're asking, how long does this usually take? What is the record? These kind of things. Well, Pogacar was able to do this in 76 hours and 32 seconds. Pretty amazing stuff.
Yes.
And it's funny when you watch the final stage is right in Paris. And, there's no, I guess there might be a small section where there's a couple of hills, but it's not like going through the mountains or anything. But I really get a kick out of it. And on this day, they did forecast for rain. The rain did come, but they go through a lot of streets that are old cobblestone.
Sure.
And you see these riders, and it's even though they're flying.
Right.
And I can just imagine they're like, please send me back to the mountains.
I know, seriously.
And then there were a couple of, I was going to say riders have gone down, but it was just wrecks. They were all over the place.
Sure.
But yeah, shout out to them. We're going to get to a quick clip here.
Sure.
This is Pogacar explaining how much this meant to him.
Yeah, just speechless to win the 4th Tour de France. 6 years in a row on a podium, and this one feels especially amazing. And I'm super proud that I can wear this yellow jersey.
Ah, yes.
That was from TNT Sports, TNT Cycling, I guess it was, over on NoTube. So, hats off to him. And
Yes,
thank
congrats.
you, Vasana, for giving me a heads up on all the sports that are going on.
Yes, and real quick, we have time to squeeze in the last story.
Yeah, Kim Hyo Joo, another second place finish for the Korean on the LPGA Tour at the Honda Women's Scottish Open over the weekend. And this is one where she was there, she wasn't there. She was there pretty much the entire week. But it was a rookie making their debut with a minus 21 score.
21 under?
21 under, yeah. It was pretty amazing. So I guess if you're going to lose, hats off to someone making their debut. And it was also, Kim Se-young was tied for third at minus 14. So actually, Kim Hyo Joo was at minus 18, so 18 under. Great week for her.
Yes.
Also, picking up a decent paycheck. Next up is the AIG Women's Open, which is a major tournament. Tees off, starts on Thursday, so I'm sure I'll have a little bit more about that. And, come on, girls, get it done. Fighting. And let's go Lotte.
That's right. That's right. Well, thank you for all the wave sports. And of course, we'll check in with you next week. Thank you, Andrew.
Bye-bye.
All right. Well, we have more in hour number 2, including our special interview. And of course, our regular corners. Bonnie's coming in too. And in the meantime, this is Get by Urban Zacapa. So enjoy this one. I'll be back at 8.
답답해 너한테도 그냥 좀 해도 돼 한 번쯤 미친 사람처럼 나도 알아 나도 못해 말하면서 어이없어 어려워 사는 게 아무것도 내 맘대로 안 돼
왜 안 되는지 내가 말 좀 해줘 그만해도 돼 세상의 잣된 남들에겐 그렇게 착하게 구는데도 왜 난 너에게 그렇게 야박해 You gotta love yourself more than anything in this world 너나 나 같은 멍청이들이 아직 많이 있어 그러니까
Let it feel what I get 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 Let it feel what I get
망설여 바보같이 답답해 너한테도 그냥 좀 해도 돼 한 번쯤 미친 사람처럼 나도 알아 나도 못해 말하면서 어이없어 어려워 사는 게 아무것도 내 맘대로 안 돼
하고픈 걸 그냥 해 정답은 없어 분명히 하나 더 그리면 돼 몇 명은 너에게 이미 그려진 지도를 쥐어주겠지만 그걸 무시하는 게 우리에게는 지금 필요해 서울이란 무지 큰 거울 같은 데에서 나는 모조리 깨부시려 해 그리고 너가 필요해 어서 be my friend This is how we live our life 내 오후 2시쯤에 일어나 나 모두가 출근할 때 집에 가나 누군가 부럽다겠어 나 이것도 쉽진 않아 그 말할 때 정답이 꼭 있진 않아 그러니까 너도 내 말을 전부 다 믿진 않아 도 됐어 just do your thing 누가 뭐라던 간에 후회 없게 Hey
망설여 바보같이 답답해 너한테도 그냥 좀 해도 돼 한 번쯤 미친 사람처럼 나도 알아 나도 못해 말하면서 어이없어 어려워 사는 게 아무것도 내 맘대로 안 돼 Let it feel what I get Let it feel what I get Let it feel what I get
Let's go get it
Let it feel what I get Let it feel what I get Let it feel what I get Get 망설여 바보같이
한국 전쟁 당시
휴대전화 사용은 모두에게 위험합니다. 우리 모두를 위한 교통안전, 나부터 실천하면 모두가 안전해집니다. 어린이가 안전하게 뛰어놀 수 있는 부산. 아이 키우기 좋은 도시는 우리 모두의 미래이자 희망입니다. 이 캠페인은 어린이가 안전한 부산을 만드는 은행, B&K 부산은행과 함께합니다.
일상에서 문화를 만끽하는 15분 문화도시 부산. 글로벌 문화예술이 펼쳐지는 해양도시 부산. 다양한 문화예술, 공연과 축제가 펼쳐지는 부산에서 시민과 예술이 함께하는 특별한 동행이 시작됩니다.
부산문화재단 대표이사 오재환입니다. 다시 태어나도 살고 싶은 행복한 문화도시 부산을 위해 오늘 하루 문화예술의 멋진 항해사가 되어 보시길 바랍니다.
이 캠페인은 글로벌 문화도시 부산을 창조하는 비컬처 플랫폼 부산문화재단이 함께합니다.
It's time for the Water Activities Safety Quiz Show with me, Mike.
And me, Jessie.
Now here is the question. On safely enjoying water activities, listen carefully and guess the right answer.
Okay.
From the following water safety measures, guess which one is correct. Number 1, always warm up before swimming or going in the water. Number 2, enter the water slowly and wear a life jacket. Number 3, never go beyond the designated swimming area. Number 4, call 119 or a lifeguard on duty if you witness drowning.
뭐지? 1번도 맞고 2번도 맞는 것 같은데.
Time is running out.
The answer is all of the above.
That is correct. All of these options are important in order to safely enjoy water activities.
If you keep them in mind, you're bound to have a great and safe summer.
Stay with BEFM this summer for a responsible beach season.
지역 경제가 힘차게 출발합니다. 기업들이 고객을 향해 더 빨리 가려면 방송 광고라는 엑셀을 밟으세요. 경제도 기업도 더 힘차게 달려가니까요. 방송 광고의 작은 힘, 경제의 큰 힘입니다. 부산 방송광고발전협의회.
The time is now 8 o'clock.
It's now 8 o'clock. This is hour number 2 of Morning Wave in Busan. We begin with Spotlight News. Finance Minister to meet with U.S. Treasury Secretary this week. Finance Minister Koo Yoon-cheol will depart to Washington, D.C. today to hold trade talks with U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on Thursday local time, a day before the August 1st deadline. Domestic outlets have confirmed that Trade Minister Kim Jong-kwan and top trade negotiator Yo Han-gu are in Scotland to continue discussions with officials from the Trump administration. President Donald Trump told reporters in Scotland that most countries that have not yet reached a trade deal will see tariffs somewhere between 15 and 20%. Parliamentary Committee passes Yellow Envelope Bill. The Parliamentary Environment and Labor Committee yesterday passed the revisions to the Yellow Envelope Bill, with labor groups urging the quick passage of the bill while business groups express concerns. The bill widens the definition of employers, strengthening the responsibility of main contractors to their subcontracted laborers, and restricts the scope of damage claims they may file against labor unions or workers. The National Assembly voted and passed the bill on 2 occasions in the past administration, but former President Yoon Suk-yeol vetoed the bill both times. President emphasizes the importance of restoring trust with North Korea. President Lee Jae-myung yesterday emphasized the importance of maintaining a peaceful atmosphere to restore inter-Korean trust in response to North Korea's hostile remarks. The comments came during the appointments ceremony for unification Chung Dong-young, who vowed to work to establish peace amid years of hostile North Korean policy. Chung also said he will propose adjusting the Joint Chorus military drills to the U.S. hours after North Korea's Kim Yo-jong issued a statement criticizing the new administration, including its continuation of joint military drills with the U.S. Samsung Electronics wins 22.8 trillion won deal with Tesla. Samsung Electronics said that it has signed a 22.8 trillion won foundry contract with Tesla to supply AI semiconductor chips to the U.S. tech giant. The 8-year deal will be in effect until the end of 2033 and accounts for 7.6% of Samsung Electronics' total revenue from last year, marking the largest chip order ever secured by the conglomerate. Tesla CEO Elon Musk confirmed the deal, saying that Samsung Electronics will manufacture Tesla's AI6 chip at its new plant in Texas. Musk added that the deal could be much more than the amount Samsung had disclosed. Thailand and Cambodia agreed to immediate ceasefire. Thailand and Cambodia have agreed to an immediate and unconditional ceasefire effective as of midnight, ending the bloody 5-day border conflict. The leaders of the two countries reached a deal in Malaysia, brokered by Malay Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, with push from U.S. President Donald Trump. Officials from the U.S. and China were present at the meeting as mediators. The 5-day conflict resulted in 35 deaths, including civilians, over 140 injured, and displaced some 260,000. This was Spotlight News. Are you guys ready for Wagga Wagga? Because Haley's here.
Ooh, I get a special intro.
Yeah, because you're special like that. Oh. You're like, go on.
Oh, yes, I am.
You and Andrew.
The egos are just overwhelming.
We're going to get into our first story. It goes straight to our text topic. How many hours of sleep do we get on average?
Well, for the first time ever, the average sleep hours, number of hours that we sleep for South Korea went down.
Oh.
Yeah. So interestingly, work and studying hours also went down as well.
What?
So it's like, what are you people doing? In the meantime,
I know what you're doing.
We know what we're all doing. Well, this is according to a Statistics Korea survey for 2024. This is a lifestyle survey taken every 5 years. This year, it was across 25,000 people. So they surveyed people in South Korea who are of age 10 and older. So keep in mind, this includes children and teenagers who biologically, they do need more sleep.
Yes.
The average number of hours that people slept every day came to 8 hours and 4 minutes. I know, which is like, judging from what we all said, again, 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds, teenagers, and I swear teenagers sleep for like 20 hours a day, seemingly. So this is actually 8 minutes fewer than 5 years ago.
Okay.
First time this has happened ever since record-taking. The survey began in 1999. In 99, South Koreans were on average sleeping 7 hours and 47 minutes. We peaked in the last survey, 2019, 8 hours and 12 minutes.
Wow.
Kind of reaching that peak and going down. There was definitely a huge difference between how much you slept on weekday versus weekends.
Okay.
So that like revenge sleep is real. Weekdays, an average of 7 hours and 45 minutes.
Okay.
And then on Saturdays and Sundays, people are getting 8.5 hours and 8 hours and almost 50 minutes on Sundays. So yeah.
Wow.
Definitely sleeping more on Sundays.
I'm so jealous.
Your eyes open immediately.
Immediately.
At 5
like,
a.m., right?
4:30.
Oh,
They
goodness.
fly open.
Do you go back, though? I go back to sleep.
I try so hard. Like, I have those same bladder issues you do. go take a little visit. Tingle, go back.
Yep, and then you go
try.
back. Yeah, I always on Sundays I do definitely sleep in longer. So yeah, it tracks at least for me. There was of course a huge age difference. Teens were getting 8 hours and 37 minutes. Do that, keep growing. People in their 50s, the least amount at 7 hours and 40 minutes. Of course, it's biological, especially for women as they go through hormonal changes. But then there was also a huge increase in people who couldn't fall asleep. And we are getting the reports on that on our YouTube channel as well.
Yes.
So almost 12% reported a little bit of tossing and turning beforehand. I mean, but though, how many people, they fall immediately asleep once their head hits the pillow? Some do.
Yes.
We're jealous. But on average, people spend about 32 minutes between when they went to bed versus falling asleep. So they went to bed at an average time of 11:30, basically, and they woke up at 7 a.m. That was the average.
Okay.
And then let's just quickly touching on meal time and eating time, snacks and meals combined, almost 2 hours, an hour and 54 minutes, which is down by just a short amount, a minute compared to 5 years ago.
Oh, guess what? Our little birdie has popped up on the board. Weekdays, sleeping about 5 to 6 hours. Weekend, 20 plus hours?
Are you an infant?
Are you a bear hibernating for the whole weekend? A cute little bear, by the way. But so she sleeps, she wakes up, she eats, go back to bed.
She is a hibernating bear. Yes, indeed.
I want to go to Yeji PD님's house.
Yeah, let's all have like a sleep. Was it sleepcation? That was a thing.
Slumber party.
Yeah, slumber party.
Let's go.
We do slumber all day long.
So if we're sleeping, less, and our eating time has gone down, I mean, do I really need to ask? But I have to ask. I mean, that thing's attached to Haley's hand.
It is. It is
She's
my right hand.
Always like
I am left-handed.
I know it's because of work.
Because of work. I mean, as a part of my job, I do need to consistently be on top of trends.
Yes.
So yeah. My screen time, by the way, is abysmal. Like it is gross. Anyways, so this media consumption. What else could it be? 17 minutes added on to media consumption. And by the way, media includes books too, which
you read a lot.
I do read, but then compared to, anyways, broadcasts, videos, and the internet for a total of 2 hours and 43 minutes per day.
2 hours of morning wave alone, that only leaves you 43 minutes.
Exactly. So you guys are basically on a media detox. So this category has, of course, been on the rise ever since 2009 when the internet kind of became, or social media became a thing.
Yes.
And it's been increasing at a larger increment. For people in their 30s and above, media consumption took up half of their leisure time.
Ooh, yes.
So interestingly, younger people are spending more time outside. On Sunday, of course, it was way worse with the average media consumption of 3 hours and 34 minutes, meaning that people spent about a quarter of their time awake, watching, reading, or listening to things on their phones.
You know what I have to do? If my roommate is listening, this is so annoying. He goes to sleep with his whatever he's listening to, some podcast or something on.
That's me. But I'm single.
Okay.
I'm single. I'm on.
It's so annoying, and so I always have to go in and then I turn it off quietly. And he's like, "No, I'm listening." I'm like, "No, you're not. You were snoring. You are not listening."
It's that 아빠 안 잔다, but then with the roommate.
But
oh my gosh.
Such a dad. Okay. Let's go to our next topic. The authorities, they made this massive drug bust at Gimpo Airport.
Huge. So Gimpo Airport Customs, they busted a man in his 40s with the biggest amount of ketamine or any drug in airport's history.
Yes.
So this arrest was made back in April, but the airport just released the details yesterday. He has been indicted under arrest. So the customs authorities noticed that this individual, a Chinese national, took an overly complicated route. So he departed from Amsterdam, had layovers in France and Japan. So the customs authorities called in a detailed inspection of his checked baggage, which went through an X-ray machine. They can't open it without you present, apparently. So they noticed an abnormal shadow, like a bulk in the bags, and put an electronic tag to track it. So yeah, there's technology involved. Well, the suspect, he noticed that his bag was tagged. There was a thing on it from afar, and then booked it. He went to the airport's bathroom, changed clothes because there are cameras, so to evade cameras. and he tried to run away.
Wow. So did they catch him? This is like a movie.
This is like a spy movie.
Right.
Yes, because these authorities, they're on top of things. So they had been tracing him since he deboarded the airplane, and they've been watching his move. They caught him and brought him to the inspection table, had him open up the bag. Inside, 24 kilos of ketamine.
Oh my gosh.
So ketamine is medically used as an anesthetic, but it's often called a club drug. Symptoms include hallucinations, amongst others.
Yes.
Well, the man claimed, of course, oh, that's not mine.
It's never theirs.
It never is. But the authorities ran, because again, there's technology for this. Forensics on his phone found evidence of him having allegedly worked with a supplier in the Netherlands on the app Telegram. So the authorities suspect that the man took advantage of, well, there's this perception that Kimpo, especially the Japan to Kimpo route, because it's so popular, it's not known for drug smuggling. So there's less oversight, there's less security, which is clearly not true. Officials at Kimpo said that there has been an increase in attempted drug smuggling via this airport because Incheon has been cracking down hardcore. So people are the demand is going elsewhere. However, of course, Kimpo says they will impose harsher crackdowns.
Yes. So all the drug mule smugglers, beware. Don't bring it in. All right, up next. One university is raising eyebrows with a task for an art competition. What is this about?
Right, so this was at the University of Suwon. They had a 2-day-long art competition for high school students, prospective applicants, because this competition, if you get an award, it counts in favor of the university admission. But it was for the sculpture category, 조소. Students could choose from 2 tasks, but one task was, this was the task, sculpt the face of a pilot, a male in his 40s, the moment before the plane falls.
No. For real?
For real. Yeah, that's many things. 39 students apparently chose this category. Once this went public, well, the gut reaction was, they did not do that. But so criticism surmounted, saying that this evokes, of course, the Jeju Air tragedy, the plane crash at Muan International Airport. That was, speaking of too soon, this was December 29th of last year, just 7 months ago.
Yes.
So the Association of the Families of the Victims released a statement saying that this is in serious defamation of the deceased pilot. And an irreversible secondary damages to the victims and their families. For families, they wrote, having to imagine the final moments of their loved ones isn't art nor expression. It's just torture and mockery. So they demanded that the university launch an investigation and apologize. Even the student community, the Everytime page on the university, basically the students were embarrassed and ashamed that this came out of their school and said things like, what if one of the students had been a victim or the family member of the victims?
Yes.
So the university told the press that there was a lack of oversight in the question creation and selection process. They did issue a sincere apology and vowed that this would never happen again.
Wow, that is so tone deaf beyond.
Goodness,
Yes. All right. For our final one, though, final story, if we were to find at least one upside.
You gotta.
We gotta find something of this heat wave is that there seems to be fewer mosquitoes.
A very faint silver lining, if you will. Although I keep getting bitten, so you're welcome, I guess, everyone. I'm just attracting them for you. Right. So the shorter rain season plus the relentless heat, the mosquitoes aren't surviving.
Yes.
So this is according to Seoul City's mosquito forecast. Their mosquito index is at level 2, attention level. Usually mid-July, they go up to level 3 or the highest 4. Mosquito activity level. So this index says when it's at 100, if you stand still, you go outside, stand still at nighttime, you get bitten at least 5 times a span of about 10 minutes. Recently, that index has gone way down to 41, 42.
I see.
Experts say that the sweet spot for mosquitoes, 15 to 30 degrees Celsius. Which is quite a bit range, actually. But with the temperatures in the mid or even to upper 30s, it's too hot. Also, plus that, the shorter rain season dried up the bodies of stillwater ponds where mosquitoes do lay their eggs and larvae. On top of that, when we got rain, it was heavy rain, which made it impossible for the eggs and mosquitoes to survive.
Yes. So does that mean we're in the clear or not?
No, of course not, because again, the temperature will go down to 15 to 30 now in the fall. fall. So we're going to have to wait and see because last year with similar conditions, mosquito activity did hit the peak in June. They went down in July and August only to go back up in September. So let's keep those fingers crossed and the zappers charged.
Yes, because I guess it's just a delay.
Yeah.
But thank you for going over all the Woggly stories. And we'll check in with you tomorrow. Thank you.
See you tomorrow.
Everybody, this was Haley. And now it's time for your traffic and weather. It's now 8:17. Here's your traffic report. That top portion of the Gwangan Bridge is congested, so please be aware of that. Also, there's backup on the Dongso overpass from Kamjeon ramp to the old Gaegeum tollgate. Also, traffic on Taseonglo from Bunhyun intersection to Pomil intersection. And it's also slow going on Jungangdaero from Seil Hospital to Choryang intersection. Currently, it's 28 degrees Celsius and sunny in Busan. It's expected to go up to 34 today. A heat wave impact forecast, 폭염 영향예보, and a heat wave special report, 폭염특보, are in effect. Elsewhere, clear and hot with daytime highs going up to 37 degrees in some areas. Showers forecast for parts of Seoul, Gyeonggi, Gangwon, and Chungnam. This was your updated traffic and weather. It's time for a special interview. Artificial intelligence, AI, plays such an important role in nearly every facet of our lives, from the workplace to the home. But as the technology evolves at breakneck speed, so do the concerns about the unintended consequences. And among them is a growing fear that AI may begin to overtake core human functions, including trust and identity. At a recent Federal Reserve conference, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman sounded the alarm on the rising threat of AI fraud crisis. So in this rapidly changing AI era, how can we respond to crimes that are increasingly difficult to detect or distinguish from reality? Big question. We have invited Professor Yu Chen, Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering at Binghamton State University of New York, SUNY. So let's say hi to him. Hi, Professor. Thanks for joining us.
Hi. My pleasure to have you come here. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. So Sam Altman, most people know who he is. He recently warned of an AI fraud crisis. So what exactly does this mean?
Okay, you may notice the timing he raised as alert because it's just a couple of days after OpenAI released their AI agent model. So basically, that's a timing when the AI will play more roles in our daily life, from the working to entertainment to your daily life, a lot of things. At the same time, such kind of highly autonomous system will also give opportunity to the bad actors, will amplify their capability to do whatever they want. While as good guys, we want to do whatever we want, but they also want to do whatever they want. So in this case, with amplified capability, they will be able to cause more damage. So that is a good timing. Sam Altman raises alert. Ask everybody, keep an eye on what's going on, be alert, be prepared, and working together to defend against the potential coming attacks.
Yes. And so, Professor, can you walk us through some of these AI-driven scams? Because we want to be in the know. We want to know what's happening.
Okay, so let me start with some general description of the process of such kind of attack. Although there are different formats, for example, some of them based on the clone of the voices, some of them based on the clone or deepfake or AI generated video sequences. But generally speaking, they follow the same approach. The first step is they will collect some of the victims' information. For example, nowadays, because almost everybody have fingerprint in the digital space
Yes.
and social media. For example, you post some family gathering, you post some new picture, something whatever. Like myself, I post my lectures online in that case. So for those materials, the attackers easily collect your video, audio, image information. So then by using this information, for example, they only need 3 to 5 seconds of voice sequence. They can perfectly almost clone your voice. And then once they have collected your biologic things, like those, like your video, your audio, like your image, they can use tools to generate a sequence of the voice to say whatever they want you to say. And then they will launch a phone call, for example, send it to the victim. Then maybe very likely the one get close to you, either your family members or your colleagues at your working place, or maybe your supervisor, maybe someone under your direction, something like that. So then they will get this video or audio, and normally they will create that urgent scenario. For example, someone call it like a grandpa, grandma scam. That is pretend this grandson, he or she or granddaughter, she is in trouble. Like one example was someone in America got a phone call claimed from her granddaughter.
Yes.
She involved in an accident. She hit a pregnant woman, now in big trouble. She need money. And someone step in and say, I'm a lawyer, I'm process this. She need to be bailed out. You need to send this amount of money immediately.
Wow.
They want to make it more real. They create background noises, like ambulance, like street noise, everything, because they're very real. And they make it urgent. Ask you to respond immediately. Don't give you time to thinking. So that lady send money to, and quickly, these people normally ask you either send cash or cryptocurrency. And then this money will go quickly to somewhere. It's really difficult. Even we don't say it's impossible. It's really challenging to track where they go. And then they disappear. This is a typical scenario that happens.
Yes, yes. And so we need to be aware of these types of fraudulent scams out there. And it seems that Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, he seems genuinely alarmed. I mean, from your perspective, how serious is this threat? I mean, because it's obviously happening already, but of course, things like this will probably continue to happen in the future, correct?
Yes, this not only will continue, it will escalate. Because what we normally, many people know some story like I just told, because many people are aware of such kind of things that exist. But many people don't know the scale and the range extended drastically. For example, nowadays, there are some cases people use AI technology to create a fake profile, fake people. One case this year was a school district in California. Someone created a fake student profile to get federal aid, got a lot of money from federal agency.
Yes.
They also, some people create a fake profile to apply for jobs. And then they just want to get a salary.
Yes,
so
yes.
All kind of things happen living along. Some of the attacking using like celebrities, like political figures to cause chaos, cause all kind of things. And also another example, like Elon Musk has been used many times. People create deep fake video, audio for him to promote some product for scam. Some people believe that Elon Musk is recommending some cryptocurrency. So I know one case, someone invested all his savings for his retirement, invested in cryptocurrency and lose all the money. So such kind of things will happen almost all the walks of our life.
Yes.
We encounter that kind of thing.
So the thing is this then, Professor, if this is so commoner and it's going to become more so, it seems, in the future, for everyday users like myself, our listeners, is there a reliable way to distinguish between what's real and then what's fake, basically, or cloned by AI?
This actually is really difficult, but there's some way we will be prepared. First of all, you got to be aware of such kind of things happen, because most likely they want to create something urgent. So when you receive some phone call, see something from a number you're not familiar with, instead of no matter who claim they are, you don't do whatever they ask you to do. That's the first step. Don't be panic.
Okay.
For such kind of things. They just want to make you panic such that you don't have time to thinking. You don't have time to think what's going on. So basically, if, for example, like a story, if they claim that from your granddaughter,
Yes.
you can hang up the phone and call the number you know instead of just on that phone to deal with those things. The first thing. Second thing is we need to be trained. For example, I often told my students and my friend, just be prepared because you know what is such an AI created content, what it looks like. So one example is if you get a video, you saw that. One thing you can say is whether or not they're really natural, because if some people smiling, their two eyes not really symmetric, they're really natural, such kind of thing. Or their skin looks so good, too good to be real. Like those trivial features can help you to alert, say it's not looks suspicious. So for us, we gotta be trained to prepared. That's the first thing. Yeah, I think that we can do. Of course, nowadays like a big AI company like OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, they all invest or not to develop tools. Many high-tech companies also did doing that. As I know, Samsung also invest or not in that direction. So in the future, we can say we have some tools to be stored in our cell phone. We can use in real time. But the last line is ourselves as human beings. We need to know what a human being is different from AI, from machine. So that is the line we try to figure out. For example, where some voice come in, you feel the words they use a little bit weird, maybe something like that. So you just be aware of that. That's the best thing we can do.
And so if you could give our listeners one final piece of advice as we wrap up our discussion today, what would you say to them?
I want to say is we need to be prepared. What do I mean prepared? There are some resources online, for example, like MIT, there's a database. They provide a lot of AI-generated content and the genuine content. You can go there, take a look, just for fun. Compare the image, compare the videos, and you will, as time goes by, you just train your eye, just like our exercise, train our muscles, right? You can be prepared. You got a better sense. You look at a video, look at the image, you say, oh, this one looks like suspicious. Look at some feature, I saw it before, and now some AI content. So that is the best thing each of us should do in order to protect ourselves.
I see. Well, thank you so much for sharing your expertise and for warning our listeners today. Thank you for your time, Professor.
Thank you for having me here. A big pleasure. Thank you.
This was Professor Yu Chen, and we talked about AI, the scams, the fraudulent activity out there. And then Tommy made a point too. Tech is not the problem. It's the people who use the tech in nefarious or in the wrong way. That's the problem. And that is true because, of course, you can use technology to benefit humankind, vice versa, use it for bad purposes as well. This was our special interview, and we're going to take a song break. This is 너에겐 난, 나에겐 넌 by 자전거 탄 풍경.
소중했던 우리 푸르던 나를 기억하며 후회 없이 그림처럼 남아주기를
나에게는 내 외롭던 지난 시간을 환하게 비춰주던 햇살이 되고 조그맣던 너의 하얀 손이
Welcome back. Let's get to some of your messages about sleep. How many hours you get on average? And Jinli says 예전에 유행했던 4시간 수면 짧게도 전에 봤어. Oh, so do you really sleep that short of a night? 4 hours is awfully short, so I hope that's not now. Maybe you're talking about like one particular moment. Tommy mentioned this, that somebody in his household, it's not Tommy because I know he only gets a few hours per night, but somebody in his house he's calling a bear as well, like a hibernating bear, because they apparently get 14 hours. So I'm very curious as to, is it your lovely wife or, one of your kids? But 14 hours, that is pretty, like, on average, that's kind of long, right? So maybe, are you talking about one of your pets maybe? I'm not sure, because I have cats that sleep all day long. But even, because it's summer and it's been so hot and humid, even the cats are kind of like lethargic. So we've been giving them more fresh water, putting little ice cubes to make sure that they're plenty hydrated. So most of the messages I see lots of like 5 and 6 hours. That seems to be, I don't see anybody who says like, I sleep 8-9 hours a day. So I don't know. This survey, it did include from ages 10 and up. So maybe it's like the kids are getting a little bit more. But I'm sure that all of us collectively are probably bringing the average down a little bit. Anyway, I'm curious about Bonnie and her sleep patterns. And we're going to get to her segment. I'll be back with Bonnie in just a moment. It is time for Simply Sustainable. Bonnie is here.
Good morning. Good morning.
You look so amazing with I want to call it like a marigold yellow.
Trying to embrace the sunshine.
You are the sun today.
Maybe if I feel more like the sun, then I won't be affected by it as much.
Well, we want to know how many hours do you get on average?
Okay, I try. I shoot for between 7 and 8. I shoot for 8. I shoot for 8.
You shoot.
Yeah, but usually it's
That's
between 7 to 7.5.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I need my beauty sleep. I'm not, when I was young and spry, it was like, I could get by 5-6 hours. I could do it. I could get by. Now I'm like, it's less than 7. I'm like, why?
Yes,
Torture.
yes. Do you have any good tips on like how to like fall asleep or stay asleep? Because you've talked about certain things before.
Well, nowadays, I think it's just more important than ever, but the screen time before you go to sleep. Yeah. And I like to watch, my shows and stuff before bed sometimes, but I always wear my blue light glasses. So that at least helps deter some of that effect from the screen to affect your circadian rhythm and everything. So I always wear my glasses if I'm on the screen at all. So get yourself some blue light glasses if you're like me. Yeah.
Great tip. Thank you. We're going to jump into today's topic for Simply Sustainable. What is it?
Okay, so today we're talking about Earth Overshoot Day.
Oh.
Do you know what this is?
Why don't you share with our listeners?
Yeah.
What is it?
Listeners, so this was actually last Thursday on July 24th.
Yes.
So if you don't know what it is, it's the day that we've officially used up all of our ecological resources that the Earth can regenerate. Yes. So basically, we're consuming more than the Earth can keep up with. We are taking too much too fast. And this is what the show is all about. I know I'm always preaching this stuff. So this, it's true. We're basically borrowing resources from the future because the day was last Thursday, July 24th. That's a little bit more than halfway through the year. So we still have quite a few months left in the year, but we've used up all those resources already. So the thing about this, so the scary part about this is last year, the Earth Overshoot Day was August 1st.
Okay.
So about a week later, in 2000, it was on September 17th.
Oh.
So a couple months later. And before the 1970s, this day didn't even exist. So the first day the calculations started in 1971. And that year, the Earth Overshoot Day was on December 28th. 29th.
Oh, so just a few days before.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah. But so we're not getting better. So the date keeps on getting, since 1971, the date has continued to get earlier and earlier and earlier.
And that is definitely not a good thing because we're doing something wrong.
Yes.
Yes.
Not a good sign.
Right. So what does it actually measure, though, this Earth overshoot day? Like, where do they come up with, like, oh, this is the day?
Yeah. So actually, it's all of our natural resources. So what it means, what it's actually measuring is things like oil, coal, timber, food, anything the Earth is producing that we are using up. So the Global Footprint Network is the actual organization that actually measures this and does the calculations. And they also take into account how much the Earth can regenerate.
Okay.
So not only how much are we taking, but how much is the Earth able to grow back. But that's the scary thing, is that we're taking more than the Earth is making.
Yes.
So could you imagine, I was thinking about this, could you imagine if the Earth actually stopped giving us those resources on that date? Like last Thursday, if the Earth was like, okay, you've used up all you're allowed.
We're done.
You're done. You can't have any more wood or water, like none of these things, you're done.
We would die.
Right? Yeah. So it's up to us to kind of turn that clock back, but we're not doing that. If anything, we're kind of speeding it up.
It's like we're like withdrawing, like if like money wise, like we keep on withdrawing and not depositing.
Exactly. If you think of it as like a bank account,
Okay.
like every year you only get a certain amount of money, or like kids allowance, you only get that certain amount, and then you use it all up.
Like
usually,
July, what is it, 24?
Yeah, July. It was done. We used it all up. So usually when you get it all, you can't just like get more money. The bank isn't just like, oh, here you go. You have to take out a loan, right? So basically, we're taking out a loan from the future, continuously borrowing, and we are digging ourselves into debt. We have not replenished any of that we have taken from the Earth. All we do is keep on taking. So that's increasing our debt, which is making the date come earlier and earlier and earlier.
Oh, it's like the national debt just never goes away.
Yeah.
It gets bigger.
Yeah, but there's bad consequences to that as well, but this one is quite awful and life-changing also.
Yes.
And I think we forget that fossil fuels are finite. Finite meaning that there's only a certain amount. It's not like we can just magically make more coal or magically make more oil. And I think people forget about this one a lot. Water is also finite. We cannot just continuously make more fresh water. There's a certain amount of fresh water on the Earth, and we're using all of that up. So a lot of people think, oh, we'll just turn ocean water into water. We cannot. It's very expensive. It's a very, very long complicated process. So we cannot just be like, oh, there's a bunch of water in front of us. Let's just take that and use it. So it doesn't work like that. So if we use things faster than the world can make, then we're going to run out of these resources at some point, right? So, like if you think about growing trees or the coral reefs, yes, we can grow more trees, but they don't just grow overnight. It takes a lot of time. And so those growing trees and like the coral reefs that are cleaning our oceans, that takes a long time to grow. We're killing them off faster than they are regenerating.
We have a question for you.
Yes.
Tommy says, really, meaning so interesting. Is there any way to, because we're talking about like with bank withdrawals, to save for our future? Is there a way to...
Well, the things that we talk about on this show, the little changes that we make, I do feel like do make a difference. But the biggest impact, I feel, is actually policy. So making sure that people are in power, that know about this, and that keep this at the forefront of their policies. So making it a priority. Sustainability, not just for the consumers, but also making sure that the big companies out there are also being responsible and kept in line with the sustainability kind of practices that they use.
Keep them accountable, right?
Yeah, definitely. So every time there's an election, or even when there's not an election, if there's something that you feel is very important, like this sort of thing, sustainability, then write to your policymakers or write to your local governors, senators, whoever, and let them know that this is a concern of yours, because they do listen. I know it feels like we can't do anything, we're powerless. But in that, if enough people care and show that this is a high priority to us, then they will listen and they will make some policy changes. So that's a great question. And I think that that's the biggest way that we can make sure change happens the quickest.
So can we, this year you said it was July 24th, right? So how do we make it like next year? Like, can we, move forward the date?
Yes.
Is there a way?
Yes, we
Okay.
can. And a lot of people, in the sustainability world keep on talking about this date because it is kind of like an imaginary date.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like a big alarm goes off like we've used up all of our resources. Everybody
We're done.
stop. Yeah. But it is it's out there to make us more aware that we are using things up quickly.
Okay.
So the things that we do, which is why we have this show, which is why we talk about this, is using less, trying to produce less waste.
Okay.
Right? So really being conscious about the things that you use and the impact that they have on the planet.
Right.
And I talk about using it, but also things that we buy, things that we purchase, because nowadays, I've covered this on the show more than once, it is really easy to buy. We are in a consumer society and things are all around us all the time telling us what we need. We need a better version. If we have something, we need a better version, a faster version, a more efficient version.
That's true.
So all of these things are in our face all the time. So always thinking before you buy, do I really need this? And can I buy it? I love this. Always secondhand. Pre-loved, I like to say. Yeah.
Yes.
And actually some good news I want to say. There is a community out there that is doing this sort of thing, so I wanted to bring light to them. So, for example, there's a town in Japan called Kamikatsu, and they've taken multiple strategies to kind of move towards this zero waste sustainable lifestyle.
Okay.
So this whole community, they compost and they separate the trash into 45 different categories.
45?
Yeah. So we think here in Korea, oh my gosh, we have like 6 different recycling bins.
Right.
They have 45 different categories. So they're doing this to make sure that things get recycled properly, but also to see if things can get reused again, which is even better. Better than recycling is using something again. So they've done this, and the community itself has decided to collectively align together to have like an earth-friendly way of living. So they've committed to making those changes together.
Yes.
Just like everything, when you do something together, it's easier.
And
right?
like even with plastic, I'm sure we've talked about this before. But if you look at the bottom of like the bottle or the container, they have like different numbers.
Yes.
And apparently, there are certain numbers where yes, it's technically recyclable, and then others are not.
Yes.
And then like unknowingly, unwittingly, we put everything into the same, plastic, the recycling bin.
Yes.
But then that also has to be taken and then people sort through it, right?
Yeah.
To separate what can be recycled and what can't be.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's the condition of the material too. It's not just the material.
Yes.
Like, so you could put that material in the correct recycling bin, but say it's got some other sticky stuff on it, or it's got some food, oil, or it's been soaked, like a lot of cardboard. Once it's wet, it cannot be recycled or turned into something else. So the condition of how you recycle it is also just as important. And then I know, like, if you have a milk container or soy milk container. So if you don't rinse those out also, and you should actually cut it apart and take the little plastic part off the top of it, because the plastic and the actual container are different materials.
That's true.
So if you put them in the same bin, it's not going to get recycled. Both of those things won't get recycled.
Okay, I have a little bragging to do.
Yes.
Because, I like Joe's always like, Bonnie wouldn't like that. So Joe, we were recycling because we were in the midst of like moving and we're getting rid of stuff. And then all her spiral notebooks, every single one, she separated the paper from the wire. Yeah. And it did take a long time. Yeah. And I was looking at her and she's like, that's what Bonnie would do. And I was like, but it's so true, right?
Gosh,
so she took out every single spiral from the notebook and she separated everything. And I was just like, sometimes we need to take a page out of like our young people, the youth.
Definitely.
Because they're much more, and then like she is the AC czar.
Oh my gosh.
Because she's like, Mom, you're going to be gone one day, but I'm going to be here. She's like, I want to be around, and make sure a planet. So I'm like, okay, girl.
Wow.
Okay. So
she gets 10 gold stars.
And we always like kind of nunchi by, we're like, can we turn on the AC? And sometimes she's like, yeah, just turn it on. It's too hot. Right? So okay, we have permission for our youngest.
Yes, but we did talk about this last week, right? How the climate is actually, we're being affected literally by the climate.
Right.
So it's like, if we don't want to live in these conditions later on and kind of suffer more drastic things later on, then we do those little changes, like taking the metal out of the spiral notebooks.
Right.
It's a little inconvenience, but that's way better than having to live in like a burning hot earth for years to come.
Right. So I was just like, that's, I was just like, I was kind of moved. I was like, I guess it's all the little things, like you say, right?
I mean, we can always be better. Like I always say, it's not about being perfect.
But
so
better.
it seems overwhelming, like making all these changes and doing recycling everything properly, not wasting food, all this stuff. But it's not about being perfect all the way around. It's about being just a little bit better every time.
Sure.
I
So
think we can all do that.
What do you want to leave our listeners with today?
Yeah, well, I wanted everybody to think about this. We have more than enough technology, more than enough knowledge, more than information out there at our fingertips. But this Earth Overshoot Day keeps on moving earlier and earlier and earlier, right? So this is something that we really need to be conscious about and use all that information for good, I guess.
Yes.
And so really trying to be more aware of our actions and knowing that this date, if we keep on borrowing from the future, we will not have a future to borrow from later on. I know that's kind of a grim thing to end on, but
a Tuesday,
but we can be better. That's the point. We can be better.
The sun and then the doom.
And then the doom.
Tommy's saying, Bonnie always makes me think about the future. So real thanks to her.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're
really
making
appreciate
a
that.
difference.
Oh, thank you.
Well, thank you for this segment and reminding us and telling us about Earth Overshoot Day. And we will definitely try to be more aware of it. Okay?
Great. Thanks.
All right. Everybody, this was Simply Sustainable with Bonnie. And now it's time to wrap up for this Tuesday morning. Remember, as I've been saying lately, hydrate and make sure your skin is protected as well. Wishing you a beautiful Tuesday. Final song is 정류장 by Panic. Bye, everybody.
해질 무렵 바람도 몹시 불던 날 집에 돌아오는 길 버스 창가에 앉아 불어오는 바람 어쩌지도 못한 채 난 그저 멍할 뿐이었지 난 왜 이리 바본지 어리석은지 모진 세상이란 걸 아직 모르는지 터지는 울음 입술 물어 삼키며 내려야지 일어설 때 저 멀리 가까워오는 정류장 앞에 희미하게 이 어린이는 언제부터 기다렸는지 알 수도 없는 발만 동동 구르고 있는 그댈 봤을 때 나는 아무 말도 못하고 그댈 안고서 그냥 눈물만 흘러 자꾸 눈물이 흘러 이대로 영원히 있을 수만 있다면 그대여 그대여서 고마워요
결국 혼자라고 누구든 그렇다고 나 혼자 해결할 수 있다고 손잡아주던 그댈 잊어버린 채